Right. Right. All right. Well, Dad, I got a number of questions to get to if you're ready.
All right.
Okay.
And by the way, we really enjoyed being out there all together this year.
Oh, no, that was fantastic.
Except that you had a lot of projects that you had to take care of. So
no, well, that's what I do for fun. While you guys,
I know. I did the same thing when I was.
Oh yeah. Hey, you and I are the same person. That I know.
We grew together.
Absolutely. Ivan writes this, Dad. Dear Meathead, I have a 2-year-old daughter who likes to watch a lot of TV.
Did you say 2 years old?
Yes.
Okay.
She watches a lot of TV and plays video games.
2 years old?
Yes. She says, so he says that, she's doing that quite a bit. Now, those TV shows and the games are all educational. And, but do you think we should cut down on the amount of time that she's in front of a screen?
Well, I don't know if the screen is that significant as far as that goes, but just watching television at this young age, it becomes another people that go nuts with doing these games and all that, and don't leave the TV. And
right, that's what he's afraid of.
I think you got to get the child involved in some other things, like put a puzzle together maybe or something. I know, 2 years old, it's an awful young kid. That's a smart kid.
Yeah.
Watching television. I think TV sometimes becomes a disease. I mean, I remember how I got involved with watching TV, and I couldn't leave it as an adult.
Gotcha. Yeah, you hear about that all the time. The parents screaming at the kids to get away from the TV or get away from the video games and go outside, yelling at them.
I mean, if that kid is that intelligent to do that, start teaching them how to read.
Okay. All right. So, I think that a lot of parents, a lot of parents get used to having that as almost like a babysitter, because the problem is the parent then gets used to the fact that there's that the kid is not like getting into trouble or doing something that they shouldn't, because they're watching the damn TV, so they can whatever. They can do whatever they want with their time. They don't have to engage.
That's absolutely correct. I was going to come up with that.
They're not engaging their children. You need to engage your children. I always, whenever I see a mom or a dad in my neighborhood actually out playing with the kids, keeping them busy, I'm always like, now that's
great.
I love that. Like my neighbor Etta, she does that all the time. I always say to her, I go, Etta, I tell you this every time, you're the mom of the year. Whether whether it rains, sleet, or snow, or it's a nice day, you're doing something with your kids. I think that's huge.
Absolutely. If that is the makeup of growth of a child, honestly, God, that the child grows up with the intelligence of a parent that is involved in educating the child.
Right on. Couldn't agree more.
That's right.
All right. So, I also wrote down your suggestions. Child needs to build a puzzle.
Well, do something. It's not an easy thing for a child to do the puzzle, but if you can get them to be interested in that, it occupies the brain, because the child is thinking how to put the puzzle together, for instance. I don't think that's going to be really happening, because the child doesn't know alphabet, or doesn't read, or doesn't,
Right.
But that grows with them.
Okay, Dad, here we go. Moving on. Rob V writes this. Dear Meathead, a friend of mine is about to do a half marathon for charity. His competition is better than he is, but I believe it will be a close race. What can I say to help motivate him?
Well, first of all, just the thought of doing what he's doing is a great thing. Motivate him in the fact that he is doing a great thing by doing what he's doing. And the best effort is what you've got. Put it to work. Now, you can either win it or you don't win it. I don't know. But the whole purpose is to participate. Once you start participating, let's say that you did win something and you became very good at that. So that's a blessing. But you got to try. You got to try something that you're kind of sold on doing it and is into your makeup, and do it.
Okay.
Hey, we don't all win every time or all the time.
Yeah.
Or don't win anything at all.
Yeah. But the key,
trying it is what the important thing
yes,
is.
show up and try. Now, what if the other guy is like, he's like rubbing the other guy's face in it, and he's making fun of him and saying terrible things to him?
Walk up to him and say, hey, you're good. That's all. That's all it is to know. I
wrote down, quote, the best effort you got is to put it to work.
That's right. Okay. We all have efforts, but we don't use it.
Okay, fine. All right.
I don't know why she's giggling in here.
She's in a great mood. How about this one, Dad? William Shatner, who played Captain Kirk on Star Trek, he's 90 years old.
I heard about that.
He's going into space today.
I know.
Yeah.
But I have an issue with that.
Yeah, what is it, Dad?
My issue is the millions of dollars that the man that has the money, all the people that are going to the space and come back, they don't leave the plane. They go up there and come back down. Am I right?
Correct.
Okay. That money, what did it do? What was the advantage of that? Just because you're out there in a different atmosphere?
I know what you're saying. The amount of money that it costs to do that, how is that helping the world?
That's right. Do you realize how many families you can educate with the money that you spend going up there and down?
I think that is an amazing point that you just made. I think a lot of people are suggesting that these billionaires who are doing this is all about arrogance and ego.
That's right. Absolutely. There's nothing to gain by what they're doing.
The amount of...
you sit in the airplane, you go up there, or whatever, a rocket.
Yeah.
And what do you see?
Right.
There's hardly any air up there either,
Yeah, there is. I think you're right. There is definitely hardly any air in space.
I mean, way up there. And then come down. And I went to the moon. What the hell did you accomplish?
Yeah, I don't think they're like holding their breath, Dad. I think they're. There's oxygen inside of the capsule.
Well, I'm sure there is, but that's not the principle of my conversation. The principle is, why do you spend the money to do that, whereas you can stand on your two legs on Earth and help the people with that money?
Okay.
Although they say they're doing that too, but that's why stop it.
All right. Joshua writes this. Dear Meathead. Actually, it's a question for both of us. You've been wrongfully convicted of murder and sentenced to die. What is your last meal?
Oh, boy. Joy says spaghetti. I don't think I'd even want to be thinking about a meal at that time.
We are on the same page. I would say I don't want anything to eat.
I'm going to be dying. I'm going to cry like hell.
Right. I don't want to eat. Well, that's a dumb thing to... You know what they should do?
It really is a dumb thing to think about.
Yeah, it really is. I don't even like to put myself in the position of thinking about somebody, being put to death. I mean, if you just the thought leading up to that would drive me insane. I would have a one request. That is, shoot me when I'm asleep.
Absolutely. Right then and there.
Right. When I'm not expecting it, just shoot me right in the head, and that's the end of it.
Oh, my God. That's an awful thing to think of.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Wow.
Sarah.
Yes.
Sarah writes this: Dearest Ruben, my friend accidentally backed into his wife's car. It didn't cause much damage, but he's not going to tell her. He's a horrible driver. Should I tell her what he did?
Well, I don't know. I mean, say that again now.
Okay, let me.
Your friend ran into.
She writes, my friend accidentally backed into his wife's car.
Okay.
It didn't cause much damage, so he's not going to tell her. Should I tell on him?
Of course you should. No. But, hey, I mean, it's going to have to be repaired.
Well, I don't think it is. I think it's just a superficial scratch or two.
I don't know. I think.
Joanne says that.
Joanne says you should stay out of it.
Yeah, I think so too.
No.
Yeah?
But,
no?
Yeah, you really should. Let them find out by themselves.
Okay.
Really.
All right.
No, I agree. I agree with that thought.
All right. You've kind of like rethought it.
Yeah.
All right. SFD Dean writes, Dear Meathead, what is your favorite flavor of coffee? Please embellish.
Well, that's a strange thing you brought up because I actually don't even know why I drink coffee, but I drink it. I don't care. A coffee taste is. I didn't even know there's different flavor coffees. I guess, but I guess there is. It really doesn't matter to me. I drink a cup of coffee. I have for no reason at all. I drink that coffee. It doesn't do anything. I'm not crazy about coffee, but I love coffee every morning.
I think it's
a psychological type of thing.
I'm writing that down. It's a
habit.
It's a psychological type of thing.
Yeah, but I think mostly it's a habit that I'm drinking coffee. I bet you I can quit coffee on a dime. I wish you would, because I don't drink it.
Oh, man.
Do you want to think I should quit it?
I've been drinking coffee since I was like 14.
Oh, I don't know how long I was when I drank coffee, but it's.
Do you?
It's a habit, I think.
I look forward to it so much. Do you drink? Do you drink it black or do you put anything in it?
No, it's just black.
Me too. All right. How about this one? This is ripped from the headlines. It's a story that I was just talking about, Dad. You're not going to believe this. Near where I live, there was a home that was a scene of a brutal murder 20 years ago.
You're talking about you? Or?
Yeah. In near where I live, here in West Michigan, there was a home where it was a scene of a brutal murder, triple homicide. Some crazy 17-year-old at the time killed his mother and his two sisters, and he's in jail for the rest. He's in jail for the rest of his life. Okay. Well, the person who owns the home now, she for Halloween she decorated the home like the crime scene.
No, that's sad. It really is.
Yeah, I mean,
my wife, that's disgusting.
It was horrible. Disgusting. She even went so far as to put the police tape up, the tombstones. And the crime occurred when the bad guy hit his fan, beat him up with a bat. And she put the bat and leaned the bat against the porch.
No. Eric, just think of this. What did that accomplish? Or what would it accomplish?
I don't know. I think
decorate something like that.
This sick animal is drumming up all these terrible memories for people that were traumatized in the community.
Oh, Lord, yes. I think that woman should be punished for doing that crap.
Yes. I think somebody needs to pour some gas on the front lawn and light it on fire.
Well, that's another issue
no.
Now how do you
don't do that.
Remedy that?
All right, don't do that then. I take that.
I think people should quit associating with her, or just ignore the hell out of her.
Mm-hmm.
Or to let her know how distasteful that is.
Yeah, it is. It's horrible. I think she's aware of it. I think she likes it.
To each his own. This country, this is the one thing that we all have. We can do anything we want to do. If we got caught with a nasty thing, then we get punished. If we didn't get caught, we got away with it.
All right, Dad. Let me write that down. If you got caught, wait, what was that again?
In this country, we get away with a lot of trash. We do things that's just trashy thing and get away with it, and no punishment. I mean, I came to a country that you don't do any wrong things. When you do, you pay a price that's unbelievable.
Did they have Halloween in Iran? Was Halloween a thing in Iran?
We have no Halloween there.
No?
Listen, a murderer or someone that's caused a very, very bad situation gets hung from the city hall for 3 days. The wind takes your body back and forth, back and forth. We used to go and watch that.
Dad, I wrote
And
down.
you don't think that put God's fear in us?
Yeah, I believe it. I've heard that. I wrote down, give away a lot of trash and no punishment.
Yeah. In this country, we've got freedom up the goober.
Freedom up the, okay. All right. Whatever that is.
We don't know what goober means. So.
Dad, final question. Tio writes, Dear Meathead, do you have a Bigfoot story?
No.
Are you aware of who Bigfoot is?
Yes. So I just worked in a jungle and walked around.
Yeah. No, you've never had any type of experience with Bigfoot. I don't know where that comes from, but he apparently...
No, I have no experience of, no recollection of a Bigfoot. I still hear some of those stories about it.
All right. Very good. One more. Michael writes, Dear Meathead, my buddy wants to be a rap star. He thinks he has what it takes, including a silly name. Do I tell him to follow his dream, or should I be honest with him and tell him he has no talent? Please embellish.
Well, I don't think you ought to bust his bubble. Let him do what he wants to do, and then if he became a loser, he'll know he's a loser. Eventually he will. But the problem with that is, if he spends a lot of money on doing something that he's not going to succeed in, it really is a bad idea. Take that money, go take a young kid that is in need of money for education or growth or something, and give it to him.
2 quotes. Don't bust his bubble. And if he's gonna become a loser, he'll know he's a loser.
Yeah, absolutely.
Gotcha.
But suppose something happened and he turned into a super duper man.
Well, yeah, then you can, you can say, like, I always supported you.
Hey, if someone wants to do something that does not affect any other person's life or mentality or anything of that nature, let them do it. That's how a lot of good things happen. People that had talents got discovered. Very
true. Dad, I'm going to leave it right there. As always, this has been fantastic. And, I'm just glad I was able to spend time with you guys up north.
Hey, I really enjoyed it. I'm sorry that we had a short time there. And, of course, you had issues that you take care of, like clear up the area and all that. But then again, it was a pleasure having it. For me, that was a security that you were there.
Yeah, and you got to see O'Neill and Bruce. I mean, your 2 favorite.
There you go.
Yes.
There you go. That's right. I really enjoyed you being there.
Okay. Well, next big adventure is Thanksgiving at Mike's house.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Okay.
Sounds like a winner.
Yeah, I'll see you in just over a month.
Okie doke.
Okay. God bless, guys. I love you.
God bless you. And stay healthy and say hello to your sweetheart.
Will do. Okay. I'll talk to you.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye. Bye, Joanne. See ya. Bye-bye.
Bye.
There you go. Another edition of Dear Meathead. Right there, brought to you by JM Synthetics. In the middle of that, you may have noticed on the live stream that the live stream stopped. I am aware of that because I stopped it. I was tinkering around with some of the spots on the monitor, and I'm like, oh yeah, what does this do? And I click it, and all of a sudden it's over. Like the show ended. So this is, I guess, part 2. I canceled myself. Well, anyway, I'm sure most of you are back now. Thank you. And there you go. Another good time of Dear Meathead right there. Dirk writes, did the broadcast just end? The heck happened? That's better. The Duchess adds, this is great, but kids also need to learn to play by themselves. They are not always organized activities for them. Imagination and creativity is good to develop. That's a great thought, too. You're right. I remember we used to play Army. Oh, my God. It was incredible. And then we got used to throwing eggs at the neighbor's house. That was another good one. Always fun. My beloved cousin John is here. Paul referred to Facebook for some reason as fag book. What? What are you doing that for? Justin calls you rude for that. You can make the same point for any money spent, Dirk says, referring to my dad talking about the William Shatner trip. How many families could be fed for every guitar I've bought? Okay, again, you so missed the point. What a stupid comment that is. So, no, you can't make the same point because your guitar, which is no doubt probably a Fender Squier or some shitbox guitar like that, is not worth the $1 billion that Bezos is spending. It is completely another example of how defective your thinking is, okay? You are a tool. Don't ever lose sight of that. Don't ever forget how much of a tool you are. All right. Prince played a Fender Squier. He did not play a Fender Squier. The only thing, a Fender Squier, you dope, is a knockoff version of a Fender Stratocaster. It's a shittier version of a Stratocaster. There is no way in hell, prove that. Show me a picture of Prince playing a guitar that says Squier right on the end of the guitar there. A Fender Squier. That's like a $600 guitar, you idiot. My God. Dirk says, you didn't miss the point at all. Expendable cash is relative to each of us. No, you missed the point. The point is when you have that much money that it benefits no one by a flight into space. I mean, if you think about it, that amount of money, if it was used, it could fucking end hunger as we know it. Dumbass. Your guitar, the cost of your shitty guitar could not end hunger as we know it. So not the same thing. It absolutely is paramount, the actual dollar amount that we're talking about. Jeez. I hate being right all the time. Seriously. All right. Loving Dear Meat, as always, brought to you by my friends at JM Synthetics. Horizon Hydroponics. If you grow, you know. Most of the time, the people that engage with my friends at Horizon Hydroponics, they're growing cannabis. There was a time a couple of decades ago when they started their business and they're getting like rated. Yeah, we know what's going on here. Nowadays, it's like, hell, it's a cottage industry, marijuana is. But no matter what you're growing, That could be marigolds, tomatoes, or cannabis. Remember Horizon Hydroponics. They are the botanical queens and kings of the industry. This is one of my sponsors that you can take advantage of anywhere in the U.S. Horizon, that's Z-E-N, horizonhydroponics.com. Shop online for whatever you need. If you have any questions about the products that you want to buy, a real person will pick up the phone when you call the number on the website and then order away. If you're within driving distance of one of the 4 brick-and-mortar locations, Kalamazoo, Lansing, Grand Rapids, or Byron Center, you can order it and pick it up. No problem. If you're way off the beaten path, orders $2.50 and more are shipped free. How about that? And for any orders online, use the code ZANESHOW at checkout, and you will save 10%. How about that? Thank you to Horizon Hydroponics. Not all dumpsters are created equal. Thank you to Dumpster Divers for being on the show. All right. Go to dumpsterdiversllc.com, and you too can see the difference in dumpsters. What? Yeah, that's true. You see, any other dumpster company, they what they do is they price the dumpster with a higher weight limit that there's no way you will be able to achieve that amount of weight limit by just throwing your household goods in there. So you're going to pay less. Reach out to Dumpster Divers, dumpsterdiversllc.com. You can also call or text, whatever you want, 616-375-9962. That's 616-375-9962. I will be joined, I think, by a former intern of mine back in the Knoxville days by the name of Ron. Ron is a realtor. I'm not sure where he is. And he was apparently an intern of mine back in Knoxville in 2000. I was an assistant coach for the Lady Vols at UT, finishing up my bachelor's degree at 35. I was only with you guys for a semester, but had some good memories. Specifically sitting in while you would talk about professional wrestling and current events and shit. You taught me how to splice tape for promos and such. That's all I really did, I think. Don't expect you to remember me, as I know you've been in a number of places and worked with a ton of people. You know, I like to pride myself on being able to remember particular things, but I cannot remember this for the fucking life of me. Anyway, found you as I was telling someone that I had actually worked in radio for a very short time and it made me check around to see where you had landed. I'm a realtor now in Atlanta. Life is good. Hope all is well. Enjoy the show. Well, that's awesome. Well, here you are. All right. All right, Ron, click on that bad boy. Click on that bad boy. I just sent you the link, and you will join me on the show. I need to talk to you. Kyle writes, I love edibles. Thank you, Michigan, for making this legal, much better than taking prescription pills. Okay. Excuse me. George Harrison played Esquire too. I do not believe that. Oh, shit. I got a Dirk off on a wild tangent now. This is a point when you just ignore this crazy fuck. He's an absolute loser animal who's brainwashed on everything that's wrong. If you want to hear somebody making a stupid point that everybody's going to roll their eyes about, just walk up to Dirk when he's talking, because this guy is full of it. Oh, God. What a pain in the ass. He is so annoying. Shit. All right. I got some audio that I want to play for you. Played you the Robin Williams screen test. What I have for you is a little bit of context, first of all, on John Gruden. And check this out. She sent this along. A guy by the name of Jay Hart from Yahoo Sports wrote this. Yesterday's story was John Gruden resigning as head coach of the Raiders over content inside some leaked emails. Today's story, who leaked those emails and why, after 10 months of the NFL investigating alleged workplace misconduct within the Washington football team organization, the only dirty laundry to be aired is about a coach of a football team 2,400 miles west of D.C. Whether or not you feel Gruden is a victim here, he certainly is a scapegoat. It's according to this guy, it's his opinion. Some 650,000 emails to dig into, and that's true. And his are the first and only so far to be made public. The only person being held accountable thus far for workplace misconduct is a guy who's never worked for the organization under investigation for workplace misconduct. If the NFL isn't actually hiding anything from its investigation into alleged harassment within the Washington football team organization, it's doing a bang-up job of looking like it is. The league reportedly won't release a formal written report into its investigation, which begs that question of how the Gruden emails got out. This is a great point. I never thought about this. Holy shit. Our Charles Robinson took a look at that exact question, circling it around who benefited most from the Gruden revelations. Here's where it gets interesting. I'm not going to get into the rest of this. I'll link it up and you can read it all and check it out for yourself. But I think if you think about it, he called Goodell an F rhymes with Baggett. If you're Goodell, you're like, oh, we got him. I'm not going to let this guy get away with that. I actually would probably do the same thing. So that is weird. Chris says most definitely a distraction. Meanwhile, Richard Francisco, who is in a band, several, he says Prince played a Honer, Honer. Do you mean Fender? I think you mean Fender because that's what a Telecaster is made. A Fender makes a Telecaster. Prince played a Fender Telecaster knockoff for many years. It was not a Squire. Why the fuck would he play a damn knockoff? All right. Meanwhile, this. Keyshawn Johnson. He played for John Gruden in the Tampa years. Obviously, no fan of Gruden. Timeout. Richard says, nope, it's a Honer. What the hell's a Honer? It's a knockoff. All right, enough about the guitars. Fuck this. Here's Keyshawn.
I didn't know that John would say things like that and put them in an email. He just always been a fraud to me. He just always been a fraud to me. Never from day one, he's been a used car salesman. And people bought it because he inherited a championship team built by Tony Dungy and Rich McKay. And he came in there with a little bit of different energy that we had with Tony. And it kind of kicked us over the top to get our world championship, which I am grateful for.
So wait a minute. He calls him a fraud. And then he says that him coming in, quote, he describes it as kick them over the top to win a Super Bowl for us. So he's in a weird way giving him credit, but also calling him a fraud. So it worked, didn't it? I mean, who gives a fuck how you get there as long as you get there, right? This sounds like a lot of sour grapes to me. It sounds like Keyshawn just never liked John Gruden and is now, because he's down, he's kicking him,
But at the same time, I also saw through who he was through that journey of getting a championship. The year think about it, we won the championship and we're standing on the podium in the Super Bowl and the general manager is trying to raise the trophy and the head coach takes the trophy from him, basically says, give me this, this belongs to me.
I didn't see that.
And like all of
Maybe that did
when
happen.
you paying attention, and then the next year, the general manager leaves in the middle of the season because he doesn't want to deal with all the shenanigans that was going on. Think about this though, Jay and Max. He leaves in the middle. Rich McKay left in the middle of the season to go take another job with another team because he didn't want to be around this guy.
Keyshawn. So he hates him. Then this. Jason Whitlock is a sports reporter. He used to play football, college football. He was a big offensive guard or offensive lineman or something like that. He's been prominent talking head about sports for years. I had no idea that Whitlock was a conservative host. I think he works for The Blaze. And, okay. It's a little bit weird. Black people who hate John Gruden or, anti-racist, as you would expect, that I don't know how they respond when a black guy does not agree with them. I think that makes a really awkward scenario. I guess it stands to reason not all people think alike, obviously. Randy Moss is here speaking about the John Gruden thing, and Randy Moss starts crying. And then Jason Whitlock plays the clip of Randy Moss crying, and then Whitlock, who is black, starts to make fun of Randy Moss weeping. Holy shit.
The clock is ticking, man.
This is the first clip you'll hear is Randy Moss overreacting.
The clock is ticking, man. And for us to be moving back and not forward in 21st century, like I said, man, National Football League, this hurts me. The clock is ticking, man. I'm sorry.
For us to be moving back, not forward. We went 10 years into John Gruden's emails, and we found racism in those emails from John Gruden back. We're not looking forward. We're not moving forward. The NFL, this hurts. This hurts. Those emails hurt me. Didn't they hurt you? I mean, oh my God. He said DeMaurice Smith has big lips. Oh my God. Can you believe that?
I can only laugh at this.
DeMaurice Smith
I can only laugh at this because it's a black guy doing the bit.
big lips.
If a white guy did this bit, he is fucked.
He said it in an email.
Oh my God, is he mocking him? Holy shit. Oh my God. So the first part of that clip was Randy Moss. The back half of that clip was Jason Whitlock mocking Randy Moss. Whew. Holy cow. All right. As usual, after the fact, these are all good points that are being made. And it kind of clouds this whole scenario up a bit, I think. Makes this a little bit strange. Well, what to do? I mean, you're the NFL, and you've been banking on this whole equality thing for quite some time, and this surfaces. But I do think there needs to be an investigation into the investigation. Why? Why did this all happen? I think that Yahoo Sports reporter, and I'll link it up for you to check it out for yourself, makes some very good points. All right. If you're looking for a job, Affordable Limousine wants to hear from you. Buscareers.com is where you go. If you are an experienced driver with a CDLB with passenger endorsement, do consider them. Affordable Limousine wants to hire you. You go there, go to buscareers.com, fill out the form, and they will get in touch with you. They are expanding their business. They need to triple the amount of drivers that they have. And if you've been working for the man, driving a school bus, a dump truck, a cement mixer, a transit bus for the city, it's time to work, first of all, hours that you want to work, You can work as much or as little as you want, and you can earn a hell of a lot more than what you were doing working for those respective positions. Okay? Can you imagine going from working where you have to get up at 4:30 in the morning, drive all these brats around in a yellow school bus, to working, middle of the day, working a lot less and earning a lot more? Trust me on this. Buscareers.com. Check them out today. A&E Heating and Cooling, signing people up for the furnace tune-up. It is $79. I want you to call or text 616-516-8579 and schedule it right now. Drop what you're doing, 616-516-8579 today. Thank you, A&E Heating and Cooling, utilizing the Comfort Maker brand of furnaces and air conditioners. Thank you, as always, for sending stories along that I can talk about on this show. As I bring in Ron, former intern of, I guess it would be the Phil and Billy show, wouldn't it, Ron?
Hey, can you hear me all right?
I can hear you fine.
Yeah, that is correct. The Phil and Billy. I forgot the name of the show, but yeah, you're right about that.
And you're in Atlanta now, correct?
I am in Atlanta.
If you don't want to be seen, that's totally cool. But if you do want to be seen, if you hit the screen, there's a little camera icon. But that's fine.
There you go.
There you are. Oh my God! So you're in real estate, and you worked with me. I don't recall anything, Ron. Holy crap!
It was such a short time. Again, I went back to school late in life, to finish up my bachelor's, and I was an assistant coach for the swimming team there at UT. But I'd always been intrigued by broadcasting. And so I said, okay, I'm going to finish up my degree in something that intrigues me, not necessarily something I'm going to do. And so I went into broadcasting, and, as you know, you got to get an internship at some point. And so went up on the rock and roll station there. I can't even remember the name of the station.
WIMZ.
There you go. And went up there, and you guys graciously allowed me to come in here. I think you thought I was looking for a full-time job. I'm like, I'm just looking to pass on my internship. And you were like, well, you're going to basically be doing grunt work, which I did. But it was fun. You guys let me sit in the studio and just talk, smack and all that. It was a great experience.
So, I think Phil may not have been there at the time. I think it was Tony Magoo, or I'm not sure. We had like several people that were in and out around there. I know for sure Bill and I were there. Because
and that's all I remember too. I just remember working, and you had I think you had dark hair at the time instead of silver hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you have a full head then?
I did, of course, man. Like everybody. But yeah, that was a long time ago. But it was fun, and yeah.
That radio station is my favorite place I've ever worked at because of where it was on top of that mountain overlooking the city. It was spectacular because in the sun would rise, you see Mount LeConte and off to the east. It was like, oh my gosh, it's incredible.
I love my time back in UT in Knoxville. It was a lot of fun, but it was a great experience.
That community became so ingrained in my brain for the short amount of time that I lived there that I travel back there often. To see folks that are still there. Billy, the guy that I was doing the show with, he unfortunately, like in the past year, he passed.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, but he was fantastic. But so you said you graduated with a degree from UT, and you said it was a broadcasting degree.
Yeah, broadcasting degree.
But you ended up working your way into real estate.
Well, I went into coaching. So I've coached a number of Olympians, a gold medalist, and all over the world and everything, and I did that, and I retired from that about 4 years ago. And because I was tired of working 80 to 100-hour weeks and, waking up at 4 a.m. and traveling, all that, which sounds great to some people, but got into real estate because I can control my own time and I just love it,
So what Olympics and who was the Olympian?
Well, in 2008, I worked with a guy named Jason Lezak, and a lot of people may remember him. He was the guy that when Michael Phelps was trying to get his 8th gold medal, the men's 4x100 free relay. He was the guy at the very end that touched out the French swimmer and allowed Phelps to get his 8th. So I worked with him for a little bit. I wouldn't say I was his coach because he was 30 something at the time. I was just kind of, being a mentor or whatever. In 2012, I coached an Olympian from the U.S. named Charlie Houchin. And then 2016, I was working with a Chinese athlete named, what was her name? Shijing Ling, and she won a bronze medal in Rio and the 200 breaststroke.
Have you ever met Ryan Lochte?
Many times.
He seems like the dumbest person on the planet.
You have to get to know him, but he's his own guy, and he's his own guy. That's all I'll say.
Why do swimmers get under a shower? Especially divers when they come out of the pool.
To get warm, because it's so cold when you're walking up and down the stairs. And I'm talking about diving, going up and down the stairs and to the board and doing your dives. I mean, it gets really chilly in there. And so they do it just to keep the muscles warm and not stiff and everything.
Oh, because if the muscles get cold and they're doing the dive, they could hurt themselves.
Correct. I mean, and when you're doing all that stuff and twisting your body all God knows what ways and everything else in the air, it's so fast. Your muscles got to be able to do that pretty quickly.
So in Realty now in Atlanta is where you ultimately wound up, correct?
I am in Atlanta, correct.
Are there any homes in America for sale? Because if I understand correctly, the market is horrible.
It's slowing a little bit, but the inventory, which is the key word there, inventory, let's say you've got 10 people looking to buy a house and there's one house. I mean, it's literally that, it's just crazy. The inventory's super low. Interest rates are starting to go back up a little bit. So it's slowing down a little bit, but it's insane. COVID, everybody thought the market would tank and nothing would happen. And COVID, values have gone up 60% in 2 years. So it's just been incredible.
Oh my God. Do you have any other particular memories of me? Was I a jerk? Was I nice? I mean, I'm sometimes anxious when I talk with someone from my past. What type of an idiot was I like working? Is there anything that strikes you as, oh my God, this guy's a real asshole?
No, but very, very outspoken, which I could appreciate. And very outspoken, very opinionated. I remember when you were showing me how to, and it was digital. I think this was like right when digital things started working. And when I said tape, you know what that means.
Yeah.
But it was digital, and you were trying to say, all right, you just gotta, stop it here, splice it here, so the words go, and there's not a lot of in between and all that. And I would do it and mess it up, and you were very patient, but I could just tell you're like, Jesus, let's get this guy out of here, and let's get somebody in here that knows what's going on. So yeah, but it was a good experience.
Was that the machine where you spin the wheel thing?
Yeah, that's exactly right.
It's called an Orban. I remember the Orban.
Yeah, that's right.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, and so now here you are so many years later, you just on a whim decided to look it up. Is that what you said? Because you were talking with someone about
to a friend, and we were talking about radio or something. I said, well, I used to be in radio because I worked at the college station and did DJing at night sometimes. And I said, I did an internship for a local, big station there. And they were like, that's BS, So I said, well, and they were asking me who it was. And I said, I remember the guy's name was Eric Zane. But I can't remember I think it was Bill or whatever. But anyway, and so we talked about it, and they just thought it was funny. And then I said, I wonder what ever happened to Eric Zane. I wonder if he's still in radio, or some people get in, some people get out. But and I just Googled you and saw, I guess you were up in Michigan, or you still may be. I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's where this is originating from right now. After Tennessee, I moved to New Jersey and then over to where I am right now in 2004. And I was with two other guys that I picked up in Knoxville. And we had a great run together. And then they, I got cut loose. They're like, we don't like him anymore. He's a jackass. And so that's it. There's a big, ugly divorce. So I kind of floated around radio for a couple of years, but almost 3 years now I've been sitting right here. So.
Gotcha. Well, this is a great format. I mean, and obviously in real estate, YouTube is the least used format. People are afraid to get on it, right? People are afraid to make videos. They want to watch them all day, but they're afraid to use it. So I'm glad. And I saw you on YouTube, on your YouTube channel. So nice. I was like, this is brilliant, So yeah, it's great to reconnect. And I love just hearing your banter and your talking and your thoughts and your ideas. And, it's great.
Oh, well, that's fantastic to say. Thank you. I really appreciate that. The check is in the mail. That was very kind. Thank you for going along with the act.
Yeah.
All right. So really good, man. I wish you nothing but the best. Don't be a stranger. In fact, there'll be, there's an audio version of this that's published every day wherever I don't know if you listen to podcasts in your free time, but it will also be available there. That's pretty much how it works. So thank you, Ron. I really appreciate you joining me. Okay, buddy?
Absolutely. It's great catching up.
All right. Talk to you, Ron. Thank you.
Take care,
There
man.
you go.
See ya.
Former intern of the, I guess, Billy and Eric show, whatever we called it on WIMZ back in the day. Holy cow. Wow. Not a memory in the world of that. Not one. Is that not strange? I mean, I forget a lot of things, but I like to think that I remember faces, Phew. He was definitely headed in. Okay, now I see that the audience is having their own conversations. Boomer Bob says, if anyone remembers Man-Cow. Remember Man-Cow? Oh, my God. Look up his YouTube. He's turned full on Alex Jones. I think he's crazy as fuck. All right. Melinda says, I want to know what it was like working with Eric way back then. There you go. Yep. Well, I think he covered that. Very cool. Thank you. Boomer Bob says, Man-Cow is horrible. He has guests on and doesn't let them speak. He yells at his kids to be quiet, brags about his glory days. Oh, that's terrible. I didn't realize he did it from his own place. But how about the fact that dude was like an Olympic trainer too? It is fantastic. He's lived quite a life. Very, very cool. Thank you, Ron. Where the hell was I? What was I going to get into? Okay. We don't have much time left. But thank you to Jason Schaefer for sending this one in. Excuse me. Young lady. Great Falls, Montana. This is a lot of Native Americans live in and around that area. I think it is the Blackfoot Indian and Cherokee in and around that area, and typically I know that, I saw Dances with Wolves. Tatanka. Aren't a lot of Native American names named after inspiration, something in nature, maybe something about their persona, Just keep that in mind as I get into this story. I'll show you the image so you can see what I'm seeing. It won't really reveal the story, but this young lady was arrested after exposing herself to children outside of a fitness class. This is the young lady. Again, I am stereotyping and going out on a limb here that she is a Native American, but it's pertinent for the background that I just gave you. It's essential, in fact. All right. Well, the details go like this. In Great Falls, Montana, a woman was arrested for allegedly exposing herself in front of children while trying to fight another woman outside of a fitness class. According to court documents, they talk about the whereabouts of where it happened and when it happened. It was late August. Belinda Hayes told police she and her husband and her 15-year-old daughter were waiting for their young son/brother to finish up his fitness class at this particular locale. That is where the problem occurred when the belligerent that I just showed you the image of stormed over and began threatening and making odd gestures. According to Cascade County Attorney Joshua Racky, in the initial complaint. Hayes, Belinda Hayes, the mother, and her husband and the 15-year-old are there, and she actually has known the belligerent all of her life. Linda Bernadette Big Beaver is the belligerent. Hayes said she jumped into her vehicle to get away from Big Beaver and told her there were kids in the area. Yeah, come on, Big Beaver, there's kids here. Get out of here. We'll settle this someplace else. When Hayes grabbed her phone to call the police, Big Beaver said, oh, yeah? Ran across the street and showed her titties to Hayes and Hayes' daughter. Just then, Hayes' husband and juvenile son walked outside and happened to see Big Beaver on the street corner, repeatedly pulling her shirt down to expose herself to them. So she's using the power of her Big Beaver titties at this point. Hayes then told the police her pants were suddenly down around her knees and she was showing her genitals off, according to the prosecutor. Hayes' teen daughter told police she saw the entire confrontation between her mother and Big Beaver, to include seeing Big Beaver flashing herself, according to court documents. So she wants to fight Hayes, and then that doesn't work out. So she goes over to the fitness class and drops her pants and flashes her titties. And this is all from a woman named Big Beaver. My God. It makes you wonder if she's got one of those flappity ones. Katrina Bava, who doesn't know Big Beaver or Hayes, said she saw Big Beaver acting very odd and yelling. So Bava saw Big Beaver. So she yelled at both of them, hey, calm down, everybody. There's kids coming out. Big Beaver, put your beaver away. Bava said she also saw Big Beaver flash her titties while the kids were coming out of the building. This article by the, it doesn't say titties. I'm kind of taking liberty with the story. According to court documents, Big Beaver has an extensive misdemeanor criminal history. The incident took place in the presence of a youth event and in front of at least 2 juveniles. Big Beaver knowingly or purposely exposed her genitals under circumstances in which she knew the conduct was likely to cause affront or alarm in order to abuse, humiliate, harass, or degrade another. Big Beaver's been charged with felony indecent exposure. And get this, she faces up to 100 years in prison. 100 years in prison for showing her bush and her titties, and a $50,000 fine if convicted. That seems a little harsh. You got 100 years for showing your vagina and your name is Big Beaver. And if you're the prosecutor and the judge and the witnesses and the bailiff, Rusty the bailiff in the courtroom, how are they not going to be cracking up this whole time? I mean, seriously, her name is Big Beaver. You know, she was like, you what? You think it's funny having a name like this? Well, look at this. Showing it to the kids. My God, Big Beaver. There you go. Phew. Thank you, Jason. All right. We've got the asshole of the day coming up. You had Ron on there talking about real estate and making a home purchase. Before you do that, it's important you get a mortgage. Remember, get a mortgage that is more than the home that you're looking at. So if the home costs $180,000, get a mortgage for $225,000 if you can, because you are going to get in a bidding war. You can always redo it. 231-332-6505 for Van Dyke Mortgage. I almost said Man Dyke. Servicing clients in every state, including Georgia. Any state in the union with the exception of South Carolina, Maine, Alaska, and Hawaii. The Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage. 231-332-6505. And then, of course, TC Paintball, batting cleanup today. I need more bodies for paintball. Plan it out. Sunday at 4 p.m. Paintball War 16. I want to see you there at TC Paintball. It's going to cost you $35. You'll be able to shoot me. I'll be limping around because I'll have completed the Grand Rapids Half Marathon by that point. God willing, fingers crossed. And I will see you at TC Paintball. Reach out to me, Eric at ericzaneshow.com. If you're going, I need the RSVP for the head count. I think we're a little lean. The tarantula farmer, I forget how many he's sending my way, probably at least 4 or 5. So I'll just count him for 5, plus Kuiper is 6, Mays is 7, 8, 13. Yeah, we're lean. We have at the most 13 people right now. That is way lean. So I need more bodies. Sarah Rook Roosh, I'm looking at you with your Rugrat kid and his friend. $35 is what it sets you back. You get the paint, you get the mask, you get the gun, you get a pizza party beforehand from BC BC Pizza. I said BC Peace Ball. Fuck. BC Pizza. It all happens at TC Paintball. Reach out to me, Eric at ericzaneshow.com. Who is going to be the asshole of the day? I was the asshole of the day yesterday. I think I could be again today for stopping the live stream earlier in the show. I'm back on Facebook. Jamie Costa's screen test. Okay. It's the Halloween display from hell. But I have to be careful here. I don't want the Amanda, our Amanda, to think it's her. Amanda Halloween display. Also, you jackasses who don't get it, dummies like Jason Schaefer and think it's no problem. Are you stupid? It's absolutely a problem. How would you like it, dumbass? If your family got murdered and it happened at some idiot's house, and then the dumbass who owns the house decided to put up a display, a hilarious Halloween display about it. Are you fucking nuts? Amanda, the Halloween display kook. That is your asshole of the day. Okay, that is going to do it, folks. I appreciate you so much. Another show in the books. And I'll be back on Patreon. In fact, in 20 minutes, I've got Smarter Than a Former Drug Dealer trivia. Kate is taking on Dale. That'll be awesome. So there you go. And then the Patreon bonus podcast. Till next time, folks, thanks so much. Bye-bye.